And the Zulu nation was the foundational social and political construct for hip-hop. He said, wait a minute. We come into these clubs and we dance and we have a good time and I'm seeing this music happen, but there's got to be something more. We've got to have a foundation that guides who we are as citizens of this nation. So he created the elements of hip-hop. What were the elements of hip-hop? DJing, MCing, b-boying and b-girling or breakdancing, graffiti artistry or tagging, and knowledge. These were the tools of expression that these young people would use to be able to create the foundation of this subculture that they were creating. So here you have an entertainment side, and then you have a social political construct that was pushing this to be more than just an art form of people dancing, but an expression that would guide the very foundation of who these people were and their identity, not just for social justice, but for life, because they were disconnected from a post-civil rights reality. Now, I say black and brown because you have debates all the time. Black folks like black people started hip-hop, came from Africa, came from spoken word, blah, 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 the drums, the beat, whoop-de-whoop. Right. If anything started in the Bronx, anybody ever been to the Bronx, it ain't just black people. So anything in the Bronx that was going down, the gangs wasn't all black. The gangs were black and brown, black and Puerto Ricans for the most part, but black and brown folks. So the same people that were in the gangs were the ones that started the hip-hop crews. All of them were together. This was a black and brown creation at the very beginning. At the very beginning. Why is that important? It's important because when we begin talking about using a construct for the purpose of being able to create multicultural mobilization and activism, in many cases that tool and that model can't be taken far from its foundation. There is a myth that hip-hop was about separation and only about black folks. But these gangs were about black and Latinos. And if these gangs were about black and Latinos, the art form was about black and Latinos, the very expression was about the history and the reality that black and Latinos were facing in the South Bronx. It was a multiculturally created art form that had influences of Africa.